setting up your calendar, setting up your schedule based off of your cycle, it's brilliant.
2018, I started a health coaching company. I was tired of working for other people. Through that process, a mentor of mine recommended that I track my sales conversions just so I would feel good and I could understand when money was coming into my business and what that whole flow was looking like. And I realized that I was having higher sales conversions during the ovulation phase of my menstrual cycle. I mean, I don't have to do sales calls all the time. I could actually just intentionally put on my calendar when I wanted to have them, where I had the highest likelihood of converting the sale. But I had never heard anybody talking about how we optimize our sales process or flow or our work optimization. And that's because most of the people who make those tools are men. So they don't have menstrual cycles. Started off making a planner, and now we've launched a mobile app.
This is something I had been thinking about personally for myself. I hadn't even been thinking about sharing it yet. And I was like, because myself personally, I feel better certain times of the month. I am certainly more emotional other times of the month. I'd heard a little bit about it, so I was looking for this information.
Like, we're not trying to tell anybody they can or can't do something at any time of the month. We know women are incredible. We also know women work really hard. So we're not even trying to tell you to do more stuff than you're already doing. What we're actually offering here is there's a way to work smarter, not harder. There's a way to work with your natural fluctuations, because when we're not applying this, what happens is we actually end up working harder. We do a lot more work to try to keep up on the hamster wheel.
So the one thing that came up in my brain for this is people that don't work for themselves, or you can still apply this like in your home life. You can still apply it in your thoughts, like as in I'm in the winter stage, quote unquote, of my cycle right now. And so I need to have that in my thoughts as I'm at work doing the things that all these other people expect of me. That's a game changer.
Yeah. It really is. And it's changed my marriage. This knowledge, luckily, I had before I became a mother. We've been really taught to push this information down, to ignore our bodies, and honestly, to have to act more like men to get ahead professionally and personally. High level, the 4 phases: menstrual, follicular, ovulation, and luteal. And menstrual phase, think about yourself in winter, think about what kind of foods you might like, think about what kind of activities you might like to do. And that could feel pretty similar to when you're on your period. You're probably more internal, maybe wanting to feel a little bit more cozy. This is the great time to plan. Put some thoughts on paper, sit with yourself, sit with your intuition, map out your business over the next couple of weeks, mark down what I call any red flags. So tracking your cycle, you'll learn there are some times that are good for you. There are some times that are not as good for you on day 24 of your cycle. And that's because there's this hormonal drop where progesterone and estrogen can come down pretty rapidly. So I just stopped scheduling meetings for myself on that day for the sanity of everyone around me. But that's what I mean. You'll put in these red flags and kind of map out your next 4 weeks. Follicular phase, this is our internal springtime. So think of that busy bee energy. This is when you start to take the plan that you made and put it into action. So actually start doing things for your business, doing things for your life. Great time to go to networking, a great time to get things planned and actually implemented, but really being external and more forward facing. Then during your ovulation, so this is the shortest phase. The egg is only viable for 24 hours, but we've got some days kind of before the egg actually pops out where you may have a different kind of cervical mucus that you can pay attention to, but you may be feeling yourself for this phase. So you may feel pretty frisky or excited. We are the most charismatic during this phase of the cycle. Our faces are the most symmetrical during ovulation. We send off different hormones and chemicals, and it's because our body really wants to be pregnant. So we're more magnetic. And then during the luteal phase, this is our internal autumn time. So we may feel more analytical. Think about harvest time. Okay, we're wrapping up all the loose ends. We're putting things into their containers. We're analyzing, we're organizing, we're looking at what went well, what didn't go well, what served us, what didn't serve us. This phase can get a really bad rap for being critical, naggy during the PMS time. But what I have found is I give that something to do. I give it some organizing potential. I clear out my inbox. I organize my house. I get things ready, and it takes that from something critical and really reharnesses that energy for our benefit. I don't feel guilty because I'm like, I just don't have the same amount of capacity. And because part of that is like estrogen supports serotonin in the brain. So we have more estrogen during the first half of the cycle than the second half of the cycle. So it helps let things roll off our back. We don't take things as personally. Things aren't as irritating. So I know that crying sound, y'all know what I'm talking about if you have kids. It's just more irritating to me during the luteal phase. But instead of making my kids feel bad or wrong, or making myself feel bad or wrong, I say, how can I get some help for myself so that I can show up in integrity with the kind of parent that I want to be and the kind of parent they deserve?
Say simple things like date night. Instead of just planning your date night in a random place, hey, I might need that date night here, or I might need a night alone by myself here in this place. Yeah. Okay. And then the expectations, taking the expectations off of yourself, because we expect ourselves as women a lot of times to be super mom all month long, 24/7, 365, like, and knowing, hey, right now I need to give my body some grace because I'm in this, and it is part of me, although I have to work with it. It almost feels like we work against our menstrual cycles sometimes, which is I don't know if that's a society thing or just
It is. It totally is.
Put on your cape and cover it up, right?
Yeah, we've been taught to ignore it. And I know there has been some chat, a lot of chatter online around get rid of your period apps. There's some fear that is going on right now. And so we have got some different products that can help, even if you don't feel like plugging into a mobile application right now. So we do have our mobile application that I love. We never sell people's information. We never sell people's data, but it helps you connect to your Google Calendar. It helps you really synchronize your life in a way that has been so helpful to our users. So we have that. And then we have got a free printable period tracker. So you can just track on paper if that makes you feel more comfortable. So you can check that out on our Instagram. You don't even need to put in an email address. So you could use that. And then we also have got a PDF period planning guide on our website, which is theagendaperiod.com. And this takes you through all the content, the meatiness of the agenda period, like some of the really good stuff that's in the app, but it's a PDF version that you can print off and use for yourself. We didn't learn about this. We weren't taught about this. It's information that's kind of been withheld from us that we definitely deserve to have access to. So that's what we are all about at the Agenda Period, is helping folks feel comfortable
to be able to set your schedule the way that you want it, right? Be able to, what makes you feel good, what serves your soul and your body and your mind and your spirit without guilt. So it's doing what serves you with that guilt-free freedom.
Yes.
And so this is just another piece to that puzzle. And I think that's why I personally intuitively was looking for it. So I'm so thankful that I found you. I'm so thankful that you were able to share. You guys give her a shout out and definitely use this tool for helping your business to be better, but not just that, like emotionally, mentally, all of that kind of stuff as well. All right, girlfriend, thank you for your time. Any last thoughts or things you want to throw in?
Periods are awesome. I think that's my final thought. So if your period sucks right now, come talk to me and we'll make it awesome for you. So you should not, you should not live with a crappy period. You deserve to have an awesome period.
I love it. All right. Thank you. We will see you soon and hope you have a great one.